Most people think $1 million in retirement means you're finally safe. But the number itself is a lie. Here's what's actually true. Whether your nest egg stretches to freedom or runs dry in 15 years depends almost entirely on two things you can see on a balance sheet. One is a withdrawal rule nobody talks about at dinner. The other is a clock. Most people ignore until it's too late to adjust. In a minute, I'll show you exactly how much monthly income different nest egg sizes actually produce. But the last part changes everything about how you should think about building yours right now. Let's start with the smallest tier and work upward, because each one teaches you something different about how money and psychology work together. $250,000 sounds substantial until you run the math on it. Using what's called a safe withdrawal rate of 47% per year, you can pull roughly $11,750 from a $250,000 nest egg annually. That's about $980 per month in income before any other source arrives. For most people, that's where Social Security enters the equation. Here's where timing becomes brutal. If you claim benefits at 62, the earliest possible age, the system gives you approximately 70% of what you'd receive at your full retirement age. Wait until 67 and you get your full benefit amount. Hold out until 70, and the payment jumps to about 124% of that full benefit. That's a 77% increase between earliest and latest claiming. Age 62, $2,000 per month versus age 73, $540 per month. Creates roughly $18,480 per year in extra income for life. That's significant when your retirement portfolio is modest, but here's the psychological trap that catches 3 times as many people as it should when retirement feels financially tight. People don't get more cautious, they get riskier. Someone looking at a $250,000 nest egg might feel the squeeze and decide they need higher investment returns to make it work. Suddenly they're overweighting stocks or chasing speculative opportunities because the math feels insufficient. The irony is brutal. That exact behavior is what shrinks modest nest eggs into crisis faster than almost anything else. The sustainable path at this tier requires discipline around 3 fixed costs. Your home must be mortgage-free, your location must offer genuine affordability, and you must have eliminated debt and car payments. If those 3 conditions hold, a $250,000 base plus optimized Social Security can work. If they don't, the pressure mounts fast. Now move up to $500,000. The withdrawal calculation becomes roughly $23,500 annually, or about $1,960 per month. Combined with an average Social Security benefit, let's estimate around $2,000 to $2,500 monthly for someone at full retirement age. And you're looking at roughly $4,000 to $4,500 per month in total spending power. For a single person or couple in a moderate cost of living market that's workable, here's where the psychology shifts in a way that's rarely discussed, honestly. When you cross into 5 figures of monthly income, your brain starts believing the problem is solved. $500,000 feels materially different from $250,000, even though mathematically it's just doubled. The risk isn't the portfolio size anymore. The risk is lifestyle creep, false comfort, and the slow decision to spend against a number that feels sufficient but isn't. This is the tier where people start saying yes to things they'd previously declined. A nicer apartment, more frequent travel, upgraded car, restaurant meals becoming routine instead of occasional. The cushion feels like permission. It often isn't. Current spending $3,200 per month plus 5% annual increases equals depletion in 35 years. But add $500 per month in discretionary increases, and the math inverts. Results vary based on actual market returns. But the vulnerability at this tier is usually invisible until you notice you're withdrawing 5.5% or 6% of your portfolio annually, just to maintain a lifestyle that expanded without intention. The psychological work at $500,000 is recognizing that the number is sufficient for a defined lifestyle, not as a blank check for undefined spending. Reset sentence. This is where intention becomes everything. Move to $750,000. The safe withdrawal produces roughly $35,250 annually, or about $2,940 per month before Social Security. Add in delayed Social Security at full retirement age, say $2,700 to $3,200 monthly for someone who had average earnings, and you're approaching $6,000 to $6,100 in total monthly resources. That's genuinely comfortable in most US markets outside of major coastal cities. The trap that emerges at this level is different and more subtle. There are 2 camps of people, and both make expensive mistake. The first camp has nearly made it and becomes obsessed with pushing to $1 million. They see $750,000 and think I'm so close I should work 3 more years. Those 3 years often become 5 and 5 becomes 7. They retire later with more money, but fewer years left to use it. The arbitrariness of the $1 million milestone pulls them forward when they were already financially viable. The second camp is the opposite. They coast. They've hit a number that feels definitively secure, so they stop optimizing, stop reviewing insurance, stop thinking about withdrawal strategy, and slowly bleed portfolio value to unnecessary expenses they no longer notice. Both groups are chasing the number instead of designing the life. This is the tier where the dream lifestyle spreadsheet method becomes genuinely valuable. The process is simple but confronting. Write down every spending category for your ideal retirement day. Housing, utility, healthcare, food, transportation, travel, entertainment, insurance. Everything. Assign monthly costs to each one. Total it up. That number, whatever it actually is, becomes your true retirement number, not some arbitrary milestone that the internet told you to chase. If your actual desired spending is $4,800 per month, then your safe retirement number is something mathematically precise. $4,800 per month desired spending. $2,400 Social Security $2,400 needed from portfolio due 0047 withdrawal rate $51,000 annual draw requirement, which means you need roughly $108 million to sustain that lifestyle. But if your actual desired spending is $3,200 per month, the math is completely different. $3,200, $2,400 $800 due 0047 $17,000 annually, requiring only $362,000 in portfolio assets. The difference between needing $108 million and $362K isn't inflation or market returns or luck. It's knowing what you actually want to spend instead of guessing. Most people skip this entire step and wonder why retirement feels financially uncertain even though they hit their arbitrary number. Now the final tier, $1 million. The withdrawal generates approximately $47,000 annually from the portfolio, about $3,920 per month. Add full Social Security. Let's estimate $3,200 to $3,600 monthly. And you're in the $7,100 to $7,500 monthly range. Here's what happens at exactly $1 million. Something shifts in the human psyche that has nothing to do with math. The word millionaire carries psychological weight that $750,000 holders simply doesn't carry, even though the material difference in monthly income might only be $1,000 to $1,500. This tier often triggers comparison traps that the lower tiers avoid. A millionaire starts thinking they should have a certain standard of living, certain experiences, certain markers of success. They might feel pressure to travel internationally in ways they actually don't desire, or maintain a home that's larger than necessary, or make financial decisions based on what a millionaire should do rather than what their actual life requires. The affluence becomes a status lock instead of a freedom unlock. Reset sentence. The work at this tier is psychological decompression. The security is already real. The challenge becomes resisting the urge to perform wealth instead of enjoying freedom. Here's the insight that most retirement content misses entirely. The withdrawal rule and Social Security timing are mechanically important, but they're not actually the hard part of retirement. The hard part is the conflict between what you think you want and what you actually want. It's the gap between the number and the life. Most people can calculate 47% accurately. Very few people know what they'll actually do with their time when work disappears. When some retirees travel constantly for 5 years, then want to stop and feel anchored. Some retire to hobbies that turn out to be less fulfilling than they imagined. Some discover that the freedom they've saved for 20 years is partly undermined by a loss of identity and structure. This is where lifestyle design becomes more important than financial optimization. A service business owner retiring from their company might need $6,000 monthly to feel secure and content. A couple with adult children and paid-off real estate might thrive on $3,500 monthly. A person who values extended family travel and mentoring young people might genuinely need $8,000 monthly. And that's not wasteful. That's accurate. A minimalist who loves solitude might build a life plan around $2,200 monthly and be entirely fulfilled. Results vary dramatically based on actual values, not income levels. In a minute, I'll walk you through the cost of living optimization that actually changes the math. But before that, here's what most people get wrong. They think moving to a cheaper location is about sacrifice. It's not. It's about buying the same dollar of lifestyle at a discount, or buying more lifestyle for the same dollar. A couple with a $4,500 monthly budget in San Francisco might achieve that same lifestyle in Austin for $3,100, or in a smaller mid-market town for $2,400. The vacation quality doesn't change. The daily food quality doesn't change. The friend relationships don't change. The budget shifts because restaurant costs are lower, housing costs are lower, and tax burden is lower. Not because the life itself is diminished. This is where the choice becomes genuinely empowering, instead of restrictive. Pattern interrupt. This is the part people usually avoid until retirement forces them. Some retirees move away from cars entirely and eliminate an $8,000 to $12,000 annual expense that they don't even realize they're carrying until they write it down. A couple with one car instead of two removes insurance, gas, maintenance, and registration. That single choice might drop $6,000 to $9,000 annual expenses. $9,000 annual savings divided by 0047. Withdrawal rate equals $191,000 less needed in portfolio. That's not mathematical abstraction. That's the difference between retiring at 60 versus 63. Or the difference between a secure $500K portfolio and an anxious $700K portfolio. Some people move to walkable neighborhoods where errands don't require vehicles at all. Some people move to areas with genuinely superior public transit. The math changes immediately and doesn't recover. Once you've eliminated that expense, the portfolio can support 3 additional years of life, or 3 additional years of spending increases that match inflation. Here's the final psychological layer, and it's perhaps the most important one. The number on your statement and the lifestyle in your calendar are separate things. You can have $12 million and a stressful retirement if you're withdrawing too aggressively or spending against an undefined vision. You can have $450,000 and a genuinely peaceful retirement if you've done the design work and eliminated waste. The difference isn't luck. It's the discipline to match withdrawals to a specific, articulated, considered version of the life you actually want. Not the life you think you should want, or the life that matches your income level, or the life that impresses other people. The retirement trap that catches the most people isn't insufficient saving. It's the confusion between having enough money and knowing how to spend it. Most people miss this distinction entirely. Here's what changes when you do this work. Honestly, first, you stop measuring your retirement against other people's numbers. Your actual safety isn't whether you hit $1 million. It's whether your specific monthly spending requirement stays below your specific monthly income, with a safety margin for unexpected costs. Second, you realize that some expenses are genuinely optional and invisible, while others are genuine necessities you've been underestimating. The $180 monthly subscription stack, the annual insurance upgrade nobody talks about, the increased healthcare spending that arrives at 72, the property tax increase that sneaks in over time. These aren't small, they're structural. Third, you understand that Social Security timing isn't a one-time decision but part of a larger tax and income management strategy that changes when you hit 60, 65, 70, and beyond. It connects to pension claiming, investment withdrawal sequencing, required minimum distributions, and cost of living adjustments that compound over decades. It's systems thinking, not just monthly maximization. Pattern interrupt. The timing question that almost nobody answers until too late is this one. When you hit full retirement age, do you claim Social Security immediately, or do you wait for the 124% maximum? The difference isn't just the monthly number. It's whether you need portfolio income right now, whether taxes on investment income plus Social Security create a bracket squeeze, whether you have longevity signals in your family history, and whether you'd rather have psychological certainty at 67 or financial maximization at 70. There's no universal right answer, but there's definitely an answer specific to your situation that you can calculate and stress test. A single person at $500,000 with average Social Security might benefit from waiting until 70 and living on portfolio withdrawals until then. A couple with $12 million, where one person has substantially higher lifetime earnings, might optimize differently. Claiming earlier for the lower earning spouse and waiting for the higher earning spouse. Results vary based on family longevity, tax situation, and actual portfolio management skill. Here's the third minical calculation that matters: the inflation adjustment trap. $50,000 annual spending today times 3% annual inflation is equal to $56,300 annual spending in 10 years, which requires a $119 million portfolio instead of a $106 million portfolio. That's not theoretical. That's what happens when you don't account for the fact that your healthcare costs, food costs, and property taxes all increase year after year regardless of investment returns. Your withdrawal rate of 47% in year 1 doesn't hold steady in year 20 because you're withdrawing from a portfolio that's trying to grow at 6 to 7% annually while you're withdrawing 5%. And inflation is stealing 3%, and you're adding 3% more spending each year to match cost increases. The math compounds in directions most people never calculate until they're already retired and watching their portfolio shrink faster than they expected. This is why the Dream Lifestyle spreadsheet becomes your insurance policy, not just a planning tool. The stakes of getting this wrong are higher than most financial advice acknowledges. Let me circle back to the 2 questions I promised to answer. First question was about how different nest eggs translate into actual lifestyle and monthly resources. The honest answer, it depends entirely on your location, family status, debt level, and the 3 to 5 specific spending categories that dominate your actual life. For someone in Nashville with a paid-off house and no dependents, $500,000 might produce a genuinely relaxed retirement. For someone in Boston with property taxes, an adult child needing intermittent support and expensive healthcare needs, $500,000 might create persistent stress. The number alone doesn't determine your reality. The number combined with your specific situation does. Second question was about the psychological traps that accompany each tier. The trap at $250K is taking on risk you can afford in pursuit of returns you need. The trap at $500K is believing that the discomfort has been solved when it hasn't. You've just gained the capacity to make slower, less visible mistakes. The trap at $750K is chasing a $1 million milestone when you're already financially viable, or coasting when you should still be optimized. The trap at $1 million is performing wealth instead of enjoying freedom, and losing the discipline that built the portfolio in the first place. Each tier requires different psychological work, not just different math. The final piece that changes everything, you're not trying to hit a number. You're trying to build a life that costs a specific amount and generates a specific income, then holds that relationship steady for 30 or 40 years. That's a design problem, not a savings problem. 3 core truths about retirement nest eggs. 1, withdrawal rate matters more than account size. 2, Social Security timing is often the highest leverage decision. 3, lifestyle design beats all other optimization. If you want to map out your specific situation instead of guessing, the framework is simple. Write down what you actually want to spend, subtract what Social Security will provide, and calculate the portfolio that makes the withdrawal rate safe.